Good morning, Year 3 and 4. It's Monday the 23rd of March and welcome to our Phase 3 Assembly for today. This is definitely a first for me. I've never once recorded an assembly of my own, so that'd be worth watching back for my own learning in a moment. But also, I've never had an assembly take place in my garden, and here it is. I've cleaned it up especially for you, so welcome to my garden. I hope you're sitting comfortably. I hope you're enjoying hearing the lovely birds singing in the background, as today's assembly is based on positivity and having a positive attitude. Back in September, Mrs. Milner, Miss Lenton and I would never have guessed that an assembly theme based on positivity would be so relevant as it is today. And when we mapped out all of the themes across the entire year, positivity is something that we massively need to consider right now. Lots of you at home will have had your plans disrupted for lots of different reasons. Maybe you had family coming out who now can't come out to visit you. Obviously, online learning. We're on day 2 of online learning now, and for many of us, myself included, it's a completely brand new experience. Never ever done this before, but we're in a really good position. You've been using Seesaw for a long time now, and I'm sure yesterday's activities went really well, as I'm sure today's activities and the rest of the weeks will go absolutely swimmingly. So be confident and be happy within yourself and what you can do, and remember to ask for help either from parents or from each other, or also asking your class teacher if you need to as well. As I've said, the focus of today's assembly is positivity and having a positive attitude. And I want to share with you one of my favourite stories, which I read a long time ago to a class I had back in the UK. And that's a story called Last Stop on Market Street. It's a story about a boy and his grandma who travel by bus, and they see lots of different things out of the window of that bus. And the boy starts to question what it is that he's seeing and why his life is a little bit different to what he's seeing out of the bus window. I'm going to read the story with you, going to share the story with you. I hope you enjoy it, and we'll have a think about the messages after the story. Last Stop on Market Street. Words by Matt de la Peña and pictures by Christian Robinson. CJ pushed through the church doors, skipped down the steps. The outside air smelled like freedom, but it also smelled like rain, which freckled CJ's shirt and dripped down his nose. He ducked under his Nana's umbrella, saying, "How come we gotta wait for the bus in all this wet?" "Trees get thirsty too," his Nana told him. "Don't you see that big one drinking through a straw?" CJ looked for a long time, but never saw a straw. From the bus stop, he watched water pool on flower petals, watched rain patter against the windscreen of a nearby car. His friend Colby climbed in and gave CJ a wave, and drove off with his dad. "Nana, how come we don't got a car?" "Boy, what do we need a car for? We got a bus that breathes fire, and old Mr. Dennis, who always has a trick for you." The bus creaked to a stop in front of them. It sighed and sagged, and the door swung open. "What's that I see?" Mr. Dennis asked. He pulled a coin from behind CJ's ear, placed it in his palm. Nana laughed her deep laugh and pushed CJ along. They sat right up front. The man across the way was tuning a guitar. An old woman with curlers had butterflies in a jar. Nana gave everyone a great big smile and a "good afternoon." She made sure that CJ did the same. The bus lurched forward and stopped, lurched forward and stopped. Nana hummed as she knitted. "How come we always gotta go here after church?" CJ said. "Miguel and Kobe never have to go nowhere." "I feel sorry for those boys," she told him. "They'll never get a chance to meet Bobo or the sunglass man. And I hear Trixie got herself a brand new hat." CJ stared out of the window, feeling sorry for himself. He watched cars zip by on either side, watched a group of boys hop curbs on bikes. A man climbed aboard with a spotted dog. CJ gave up his seat. How come that man can't see? Boy, what do you think about seeing? Nana told him. Some people watch the world with their ears. That's a fact. Their noses too, the man said, sniffing at the air. That's a mighty fine perfume you're wearing today, ma'am. Nana squeezed the man's hand and laughed her deep laugh. Two older boys got on next. CJ watched as they moved on by and stood in the back. Sure wish I had one of those, he said. Nana sat down her knitting. What for? You got the real live thing sitting right across from you. Why don't you ask the man if he'll play us a song? CJ didn't have to. The guitar player was already plucking strings and beginning to sing. To feel the magic of music, the blind man whispered. I like to close my eyes. Nana closed hers too. So did CJ and the spotted dog. And in the darkness, the rhythm lifted CJ out of the bus, out of the busy city. He saw sunset colours swirling over crashing waves, saw a family of hawks slicing through the sky, saw an old woman's butterflies dancing free in the light of the moon. CJ's chest grew, and he was lost in the sound, and the sound gave him a feeling of magic. The song ended, and CJ opened his eyes. Everyone on the bus clapped, even the boys at the back. Nana glanced at the coin in CJ's palm. CJ dropped it into the man's hat. Last stop on Market Street, Mr. Dennis called. CJ looked around as he stepped off the bus. Crumbling pavements and broken down doors, graffiti-tagged windows and boarded-up stores. He reached for his Nana's hand. How come it always so dirty round here? She smiled and pointed to the sky. Sometimes, when you're surrounded by dirt, CJ, you're a better witness for what is beautiful. CJ saw the perfect rainbow arching over the soup kitchen. He wondered how his Nana always found beautiful where he never thought to look. He looked all around them again, at the bus rounding the corner out of sight, and at the broken street lamps still lit up bright, and the stray cat shadows moving across the wall. Then he spotted their familiar faces in the window. I'm glad we came. He thought his Nana might laugh her deep laugh, but she didn't. She patted him on the head and told him, Me too, CJ. Now come on. I hope you enjoyed the story. I certainly did. It reminded me lots about when I read it all those years ago for the very first time. CJ certainly did question quite a lot that he saw from that bus window, and his response, or the responses from his grandmother, really made CJ think and realise how fortunate that he was. And at times like this, when things are very challenging and very difficult for us all, it's about remembering what we hold special to us and what makes us feel positive and happy as well. Think about CJ, and if you put yourself in CJ's position as well, sometimes we look at our friends, other families, and we start to think, why haven't I got that brand new iPad, or why haven't I got that massive, great big TV that my friend has? But think about what you do have, and think about what makes you happy and what makes you unique and special amongst you and your family. What things do you do on a regular basis that you enjoy doing? I would really like to hear what makes you happy, and what I'd like you to do is to leave me a comment somewhere just below here. Leave me a comment about what makes you feel happy and what makes you stay positive and why, and maybe you can also reply to each other's comments as well. Good luck with the rest of this week. I've enjoyed checking in on yesterday's learning that you've been doing with your class teachers, and I'll continue checking in across the rest of the week, and there'll be another assembly from me this time next Monday. Have a great week and good luck in all that you're doing.